Tom Johnson here with former intern Zach. In this video, we're going to explore what artificial intelligence can do with the Gmail account.
What we can find with it, if we can query it to ask, hey, are there certain things in there that you can find for me? Are there different things that you can do for me on my behalf in my email account? And let's see if we can do it.
I've got a decade worth of emails that I've saved in Gmail, so it's a pretty massive amount of data. Let's see if artificial intelligence can help us access that.
Sounds good.
Let's get started.
I want to organize my Google Drive into folders that help make everything easier to find. How would you recommend I do that? And are you able to move files into these created folders for me? Okay, so it's saying that it can't directly access and modify files in Google Drive. However, we might be able to ask it for a strategy to do that if we have interest in it.
It says it can't directly access files in my Google Drive, but it's been doing that. So let's back up and ask it, what capacity does it have to help me with my Google Drive?
So what it's doing is it's going to give different recommendations for things that you yourself can do that it won't actually do for you. So it's saying if you want to categorize stuff, you can do work, personal, shared, and then it tells you what might go into these. Work could have projects, clients, departments, meeting notes, etc. And then you can create a folder hierarchy. So you can use main folders for broad ones like work or personal. And then subfolders under work can have different subfolders for each project. And then you can avoid going too many levels deep because it then can become too hard to navigate if you get it too much in the weeds. And then naming conventions. So that's helpful to let you know that you can put the date that something happens, and then you could say that it is for X project and it's the meeting notes for it. So it helps you just kind of have different nomenclature and ideas on that. And then utilizing the different features, you can color code your folders. So it's telling you, hey, that's something that Google Drive does. You can do that too, if you so desire. And then you can add descriptions to those files and the folders for a little bit extra context if you feel it warrants it, instead of just being in the name itself. Star important ones, search bar to find things, and then regular maintenance to just make sure you're tidying up and keeping everything clean. So that way, when you go into there, you know where everything is and you know you have all that you need, and you're deleting unnecessary files and archiving older ones to make sure that it's not just kind of bogged down and there's a bunch of stuff that is irrelevant or doesn't make sense or was an older draft. You have everything that you need that makes sense for now.
Let's see if it can look at my Google Drive and let me know how many files, separate files there are in my.
So it can't keep a count.
But it can use it, it can access it and retrieve emails, docs, and PDFs for us. Ask it if it's able to access my Gmail account, but it can.
And that's part of the confusion with AI is sometimes it takes what you're saying and may not fully understand what you're trying to ask. So it might go into Gmail and find a different email that you ask it for, or, hey, can you search for an email from so-and-so inside of my Gmail? And it might be able to do that. But if you say, can you access it? It might say, well, I'm just text-based, thinking that you might ask it to do something for you on your behalf inside of it. And it might get confused based on that.
Let's go ahead and ask it to access my Gmail account and find an email I sent yesterday. Can you do that?
So it's currently looking through the emails, as you can see in real time. It's telling us that it's assessing emails. It's looking to see what could be in there, and it's trying to figure out what was sent yesterday. And am I able to show this email was said to have been sent yesterday? And it says it found several. It says it can't share the content of them to protect privacy. If you want to view them, you can access the account directly, but it is letting us know that it did find those, but because of different ways that it goes about privacy settings, it's not going to show them here.
It says query unsuccessful. Try again without extensions. So let's hit that.
So it says that it doesn't have the credentials without the extension. And then it tells you different ways that you can go about it if you're not using the extension. So again, this is why we say with AI, it is a tool to do things, but it needs refinement for what it's doing. And sometimes it can get you to what you're trying to do or close to it, but it's not always going to be able to do 100% of what you're asking it to. And sometimes it can actually get confused by itself based on what the inputs are and what it returns as a result.
In a previous session today, we just accessed my Google Drive and my Gmail, and I pulled things up and showed it to us.
Right. And by removing that extension, that might have taken away access to it.
Right.